The guys over at Midas Touch, they've done a good job of, I don't know if they just wait at this door that all the Congress people leave from, but they've been getting some good interviews with some politicians waiting in this particular spot. And AOC gave them some banger comments here. And this is not stuff, mainstream media is not going to be running this. Let's just say that. Mainstream media is not going to be running these sorts of clips, but shout out to Midas Touch for getting these comments. So listen to what she says here. She's asked about everything that's going on with ICE, and she just fucking lets it rip. Watch.
Government funding, we're about to run out of money. What should be the red lines when it comes to ICE funding? When it comes to DHS, should there be policy or reduction in funding? What should be the options?
I mean, in terms of which deadlines line up with which goals, that's a tactical decision to be made. But my position has always been clear that ICE funding should be cut. We're seeing what they're doing with this reckless explosion in funding.
Now, by the way, let me just point out, when she said this, there were some people on the left who got kind of triggered because they were like, wait, why'd you say ICE funding should be cut? You should say it should be abolished. And then when there was a bunch of backlash, she went on Twitter and clarified, like, no, I still want it to be abolished. Of course, I support abolishing it. But they didn't like that she said cut it instead of abolish it in this clip. So they thought she had, like, shifted to the right and got off of abolishing it. But she's like, no, I still support abolishing it. I have consistently since 2018. So that's good. It's good that she came out and said that. But, I don't know. It seems like people are almost willfully trying to misinterpret what she said here, which was kind of annoying. But I haven't even got to the meaty part yet. Let's get it.
ICE funding should be cut. We're seeing what they're doing with this reckless explosion in funding. And mind you, just so everybody knows, I want everybody to understand the cuts to your health care are what's paying for this. All that extra money that everybody's paying right now in their premiums, all that extra money that you're paying, it is paid for it is all of that extra money that the government and the ACA subsidies that was given to nearly $1 trillion in healthcare was taken out and given to ICE. So understand how these dots connect. You get screwed over to pay a bunch of thugs in the street that are shooting mothers in the face. That is what this administration's doing. That's what the Republican Party did.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. So, yeah, you can't re-up the Affordable Care Act subsidies to make it so that healthcare premiums don't double, triple, and quadruple. So you're stealing money from the American people when it comes to healthcare, and you're using that money to hire a paramilitary Gestapo to go assault innocent people and shoot 37-year-old soccer moms in the face and go drag a woman who was driving to a doctor's appointment out of her car to arrest her. Like, this is what it is. They spent, it's over $100 billion went to ICE. ICE is now one of the biggest militaries on earth. And like I said, it's a domestic paramilitary. It's like Trump's personal army. They exploded funding for it for the explicit reason of cracking down on dissent, going after black and brown people, going after immigrants, going after liberals and leftists, cracking down on any and all dissent. That's the point. So they literally stole money from your healthcare to get thugs to assault you in the street. They're paying the thug to assault you in the street. That's what this is. That's what she's saying. And she's 100% right. And in that bill, by the way, not only did they send over $100 billion to this mercenary army of gangsters, but they also added $4 trillion to the debt and the deficit. They cut taxes on the rich and raised it on the working class. They cut Medicaid $800 billion. They kicked 3 million people off of the SNAP program, which is food stamps. They cut free school lunch in schools. Free school lunch. I think that is where school lunch is, right? In schools? I think so. They also killed wind and solar projects, and they got rid of pollution regulations. Like, you go through that bill page for page, and you will be astonished at the shit that's in there. Like, little evil things, like let's repeal a tax on gun silencers. Let's block Medicaid from providing any trans healthcare whatsoever. Let's send billions of dollars for this fraud project, the Golden Dome, which is literally just a slush fund to the military-industrial complex so they can rob the American people. That's what this is. He stole money for you for your healthcare and gave it to a thug army that assaults you and gave it to fucking Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and Boeing and whatever other companies are doing this fake-ass Golden Dome bullshit. Okay? That's what this is. And she's right. She's right. Now, again, I don't think you'll see that on mainstream media, but then we also have another one for you. Here she is talking some more about ICE.
On the Senate side, on the House side, some more Republican defections. Not a ton, but some. Do you see this as a trend, or is this just kind of an abnormality that's happening in real time?
I don't think it's an abnormality. My hope is that we're seeing some Republicans starting to wake up to the reality of what's on the ground. Now, do I think everyone's doing this out of the goodness of their own heart? Probably not. But I do think that people are reading the writing on the wall, that, you know, after this maybe honeymoon period where perhaps the Republican Party thought that they could do anything and everything because they won an election, that they forgot that people voted to lower their costs and to improve their economic outlook. And this administration is doing everything but that. They are sending ICE into the streets. They're invading other countries. They are, tweeting crazy shit. But what they're not doing is lowering the price of groceries. What they're not doing is raising people's wages. What they're not doing is creating jobs, because we're having horrible unemployment numbers, especially for young people. And so, I think now it's becoming clear to them that the electorate and the mandate that they were talking about so high and mighty a year ago is not the mandate that they think it is.
I'm telling you, man, that is a message that they cannot defeat. They have nothing to deal with that message, because what's Trump's reaction been? To just lie about the state of the economy, lie about the inflation numbers, lie about the unemployment numbers, act like everything is awesome, act like the golden age is already here. It's nonsense. People know it's nonsense. They feel it in their day-to-day lives. And so instead of making America great again and lowering prices and focusing on affordability, focusing on fixing things here at home, what's he doing? He's saying we're going to run Venezuela, we're going to run Gaza. He sent $40 billion to Argentina, to that fucking psychopath who looks like a Muppet who runs the country and turns it into a capitalist hellhole, right? With extreme poverty skyrocketing, people dumpster diving because of fucking the social safety net being ripped to shreds over there. So you're focusing on all this shit. You're going to steal Greenland. You're going to topple Cuba. You're going to attack Colombia. You're going to attack Panama. You're going to continue the war in Venezuela. You're going to all this shit overseas, elsewhere. Meanwhile, you have a thug army cracking skulls here, and you're not doing anything to improve the lives of regular people. Groceries are way more expensive. Their healthcare bill is going up. They can't compete with this message. This message is going to fucking rout them from sea to shining sea, is what's going to happen. So buckle up, y'all. Buckle up. Too big to rig. It's happening. It is happening. But good message there from AOC. And she is one of the leading voices of, look, we got to fucking abolish ICE. We got to get rid of it. We're not going to have the moderate Gestapo. That's not a thing. There's either a Gestapo or there's no Gestapo. I'm on team no Gestapo, and I hope you are too.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.